Welcome to the Amped on Lightning game review. We're going to be talking about the recent matchup with the New Jersey Devils versus the Tampa Bay Lightning, where the Tampa Bay Lightning took a decisive lead early with 1 point by Nick Paul 14 minutes into the first period and maintained this lead throughout the entirety of the game, ending up in a 0-4 victory with a shutout for Vasilevsky for his 301st victory of his career. This is the 36th career shutout for Vasilevsky, a dominant performance along with the great achievement of having 300 wins in his career. It is a very rare achievement even for goalies to have 300 wins, especially when you think about it that he only has 490 games, which makes him the fastest in NHL history to reach 300 wins amongst any player. Amongst notable statistics from this game, Radish gets a score in the third along with Victor Hedman on a power play and Anthony Cirelli late in the fourth on an empty net goal. This game was very similar to the Jets game of last week, where it was just a very dominant performance from the Tampa Bay Lightning, something that a 7-day break has seemed to have made a major difference in how the Lightning have played so far this year. It's very impressive. It's been very awesome as as a Lightning's fan. It's very impressive to see the team playing just so well, even without Braden Point, who it looks like may be returning very soon, possibly next game this Tuesday, which is an exciting game. We'll talk about that when that game does come out. But just speaking on most of the performance of the team, it's exciting to see some of the young players, even if one of them, number 93, is going back to, it looks like he's going to be going back to Syracuse with the resurgence of Braden Point into the lineup, which obviously Braden Point being one of our most impactful goal scorers, very good at getting into the enemy zone, is a very effective player, and honestly having that speed component and having seniority, being a major, one of the major reasons that the Lightning have been so good over the past several years. It's very obvious that guy's going to be back in the lineup. It does make me a little bit sad that we don't get to see quite so many of our young players. Obviously, we are a team that is looking to go to the Stanley Cup. I think that's the expectation of Tampa Bay Lightning fans every game, but it's more so this year. I feel like we have a very good chance. We just beat two very decent teams. And I'm hoping that this is the time in the year where we're going to really make a push into trying to take over the division and getting into the playoffs with a very high seeding, hopefully winning the division. Talking about some major statistics from this game, the New Jersey Devils got 29 shots on net, and the Tampa Bay Lightning got 26. So the New Jersey was out shooting us a little bit. It looked like they had a few moments of very strong pressure against the Lightning, but for overall it felt very much like the Tampa Bay Lightning had a very good control over the game. Most of the game it looked, pretty one-sided, I'll be honest. And the New Jersey Devils had 23 hits versus the 15 of the Lightning. I didn't really see a major effect on this. Most of our players had stayed on the ice. Hagel had some kind of nagging injury sometime in, I believe, the second period, but it seemed to not affect him because he came back in the game and had some major usefulness. One of the things that was very impressive about this game for me was our special teams, which historically has not been that good this year. However, we got a power play goal, which is huge. That's something we've been missing with losing Steven Stamkos to the Predators. Losing him was a major blow to the power play potential of this team. It was incredibly high last year, a very effective power play. We were able to also snuff 4 2-minute penalties, which is massive. This is something we also were not good at the beginning of this year. I did not expect that to get just dramatically better in the last few games. Even in the Jets game, it was you could see the improvement. So I'm very excited to see that our special teams is improving, that our ability to be aggressive, be speedy, all of these things are coming to fruition as of late, and it's exciting to see this team. This team looks a lot different from the beginning of the year, where we were looking a little bit slow, a little bit discombobulated. I'm starting to see some of the lineup start to shake out. I think some of the movement of the lines has made a major difference in the effectiveness of each line, making not just our first line very good, but Our second and third line look a lot better, and the fourth line, has a lot of young, sort of newer players in it. However, I'm starting to see some great potential out of those players, especially Ginky. He's a guy I'm very excited for. He has looked like a guy that has a lot of potential in this league. He's obviously made it to the lineup. He's a guy who I think is going to stay around. He's been very effective at getting into the offensive zone and staying there. I've also seen him make some very good plays and being very good positions, something that I think even a veteran player at times makes mistakes. And I believe that even though he is young, he has made some very impressive plays. And overall, I'm incredibly happy with this, and I'm excited to see what the Tampa Bay Lightning do moving forward. Looking forward into our next game, which is going to be this Tuesday versus the Penguins at 7 p.m. I'm excited to see that. The Penguins have been, at least from, let me just double check, but I believe the Penguins have been pretty solid. 7-10 with 3 overtime matchups. Nothing crazy there, right? The goalie is playing okay in, I can't even pronounce his name, Nadi Lijakovic. But they obviously have Sidney Crosby, who's been already incredible this season, getting 19 points and 7 goals, 12 assists. So it's an exciting matchup. Obviously, Kucherov is over beating him. And I think in general, this team has a lot more talent than the Penguins currently speaks. Just looking at Braden Point, I hope he does come back. That would be a big deal. Just looking at the injury report as well, looks like Asimon may be on the injured reserve, which is not exactly the thing you want to see, although he's not a crucial person. But looking at the Penguins, they are very much an injured team already. Doesn't look good for the Penguins, as I think we were already a strong favorite in this matchup. Yeah, we're on betting odds. We are up 1.5 goals, which it's a lot for hockey in a way. So I'm excited to see that matchup, and I expect a Lightning's win. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe. And as always, be amped up on Lightning. Let's go